uh, in the spring of this year, spring of 2018, I really got into distance running. And although it's only been a few months, I want to chronicle and share uh, how I was introduced to distance running. So this is my personal introduction to distance running. Everything I say is very much just my own experiences. And what I'm hoping is that through my experience, through sharing my experience, I can help others. There might be aspects of distance running or anything in life that I discovered through my experiences that other people don't even know about. And through hearing about my experiences, they can uh, gain some ideas as to things to do to help themselves, improve themselves in whatever way. So first, a little bit about me. So I am in my mid 30s. I'll mention that I am male. I stand 5 foot 11 inches tall, no shoes, and currently weigh 150 pounds. So right now we're in July, almost August of 2018, and I started distance running in late April. So it's been a good 3 months. And when I first started, I think I was probably just a shade over 160 pounds. And as of right now, I wrote 150 pounds, but I think I might be a shade below 150 pounds. So maybe like 147, 148, something like that. So uh, before starting distance running, I want to say my daily activities are moderate. I walk a lot. I walk during my commute to and from work, and occasionally uh, I I partake in team sports. In particular, I play basketball, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that. So in my 30 odd years of life, I've had bouts where uh, I had I have previous experience with distance running, and I've tried it, I've done it before, but I've never liked it. I thought it was painful, and when I'm running, I'm just like, there's no point. Like, why the heck am I doing this? So, um, but in late April, as I started to distance run again, I kind of rediscovered it. But I think I truly discovered it for the first time in my life. So, as I'm getting older, I'm getting slower. I'm less energetic. Slower, just I feel my body. I just feel my body is slower. Not necessarily while doing sports, just living life. I feel my mind is slower. I'm less energetic. And in the spring of 2018, I was looking to kind of give my life a little boost, get some exercise. And the reason I started running, I think it was an economical choice. The reason I did it. So uh, there's a there is a high school somewhere near my house, and not adjacent to the high school for whatever reason. They built a track servicing that high school, but it's it's fairly public. Uh, it's fairly open to the public most of the time. And they built this track less than 1 mile from my home. It's about zero point 0.8 miles, and so it's really convenient for me to just go out to this track and just run around a few times. I think this convenience was why I started this entire endeavor. So without them building this track, very close to my home, I may not have ever gotten the start that I needed. For instance, if instead they built this new basketball court, right by my house, uh, I may be going to go play basketball every day or something like that, instead of, uh, or if they have a swimming pool or something like that, like that may have been my choice. And when I first started in late April, in my mind, I think of 2 miles as a long run. And so it kind of shows how how long I've come in just the past 3 months. So I think of like a mile as a mid distance, and 2 mile as a long distance. Like you have to have crazy endurance to run continuously for 2 miles at a reasonable speed. So let me take you back to late April. The weather is just starting to get warm. I live in New Jersey, by the way. So the weather is just starting to get warm. The winter was actually the winter dragged a lot. So by late April, it was just starting to get warm, and I go out, and I knew this track had been completed. It had already been completed the fall of the previous year, actually. I think the track and the field was completed just in time for high school football season. I think so. I had known that this track is there. It's pretty close to my house, and in late April, it's getting warm. I go out for my first run. So I go for a solid 2 miles, 8 loops around the track. And to me, that's a long distance. I'm running a long distance. So about midway through this run, I don't quite remember if it was exactly 1 mile in, but somewhere into this run, like I've been running for a good while, I started to develop an itch throughout my body, actually, on many parts of my body. So the itch was mainly located around my midsection, around my tummy, love handle section, around my butt and thighs. And coincidentally, this is where also most of the body fat that I have accumulated is sitting. So this may be a coincidence, may not. I still don't know. And this itch got to a point where it was almost debilitating. At that time, I almost felt like, like maybe I'm getting too old for this. Like my body's can't even handle this anymore or something like that. I didn't know where the itch came from. But it's actually called runner's itch, and it's actually quite common. So runner's itch. So, so, you know, as I was developing this itch, I was, you know, this itch was not a good feeling. I felt like I wanted to stop, but on that day I pushed it to 2 miles. But it was not a good feeling. It was not a good start to my journey to distance running. But anyway, being an educated person and having the incredible resources that we now have at our fingertips, I got home and I nerded out and I researched this phenomenon in detail, this runner's itch. So what I found, and I will summarize it for you right now, is that uh, runner's itch occurs when capillaries have been incapacitated in certain way. Either they compress or they get just deactivated by your body. It's one of those use it or lose it situations. Now capillaries are blood kind of blood streams. Capillaries are when your heart pumps blood into arteries, and then blood returns to your heart through veins, and between arteries and veins are tiny blood streams called capillaries, and there's many, 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 many of them. And capillaries are thinner; they have a different structure. And capillaries is where energy or molecules from your bloodstream can go across a wall, the bloodstream wall, into your cells. And what happens during runner's itch is that because there's so many capillaries in our body and only a small portion of them are being used at any given time, a lot of capillaries are actually shut off. Some web research describe it as collapsed, some as just deactivated, and when we do a continuous run, slowly we build up slowly. We activate these inactive capillaries again, and blood is pumping through them for the first time in a long time, and when this happens, and when these blood is flowing, a bigger flux of blood is flowing through these capillaries in a long time, what happens is that the nerve cells near the capillaries feel this, and they think we're overdoing it a bit. They think they sense this as an abnormality and send signals to your brain, and these signals is the itchy feeling. And in more extreme cases, the capillaries can actually burst, and it's because they're so small. It's not dangerous or anything, but when they burst, that's how you develop like a red flush. There are I don't think I was flushed. I only felt itchy, but there are worse cases where a flush can occur. Uh, so the best remedy for runner's itch is to simply run through it, because as you continue to run, your body will adapt and just have all these capillaries which are not used often and shut off, and your body will activate them, and they will just be ready the next time you need to just have a big influx of blood go through them. So finding out this small piece of information was very eye-opening for me, and it led me to do more research, and led me down a rabbit hole. So I didn't like the idea that my capillaries were compressed or not functioning to their fullest. It's like well, it's almost like a small handicap. My body's not fully functioning as it's supposed to. And I previously thought that I was an active person, that I wouldn't have thought that there's anything wrong with my circulation, that you know like when I do physical activities like play basketball, I sweat. We play for a good 2 to 3 hours when I play with my friends, and you definitely develop into a sweat. But I when I come to think about it, I'm never continuously running during basketball. It's always run, stop, run, stop. And I take it easier than most because I am getting up there in age. and basketball is an extremely high impact sport, so I take it very easy. So things like runner's itch, it was never present before. And meaning whatever capillaries were inactive, they were inactive through other activities such as playing basketball. And my runner's itch only occurred after, I don't remember if it was exactly 10 minutes, but it was after some period of continuous running that the itch starts to trigger. So this already is noting a big difference between distance running and other activities, because in distance running it's a continuous activity. You're continuously telling your body, I'm going through this physical exertion. I'm going through this physical exertion. I'm going through this physical exertion, and just continuously sending your body that signal. And your body goes into gears and modes that it doesn't normally go into. So after a couple more runs of roughly 2 miles, I don't remember exactly how long, but around 2 miles, anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5, my runner's itch naturally went away, like it was described on the internet. And that's when I really started to, that was the beginning of me enjoying running. And so going through this period and learning about runner's itch, by the way, I could never find a proper scientific name for this condition. If anyone knows what it is, feel free to let me know. So going through this research and learning about the runner's itch led me to research into other benefits of distance running. And what I discovered is that there are many, many benefits that I previously didn't know about. So previously, when I hated running, when I thought running was pointless, and was just paying for nothing. I didn't know about any of these benefits, and that's probably why previously I never really got into it. I didn't sustain it long enough, or know about to think about these benefits, and to actually try to feel how running is helping me.